Hello everyone, my name is Mitz, here back at Phoenix Wright Conflict of Interest. So, we're going into the next part of this trial of the 6 years past, like goddammit, and instead of being the motive for getting the money here, not because the goddamn poison was too expensive, it's most likely the Rallies gang need money to help this war they're having with the Cadaverines. So am I on the right ball here, Obadia? The money was not for himself. It was for his uncle and their gang. Rebel. That's a bold move, accusing a man like him. You'd be going now to say that Revalius was in on the death? I can't do that. There's no evidence for it. It isn't something neither Revalius or Mendiras would ever admit. I can say this. Michael Revalius is a shrewd man. Shrewd, but he's a human being. Currently, Revalius would want to do whatever he could to strengthen this gang. What do you mean by currently? Do you believe Michael Revalius is aware the murder would occur? It's not something I plan to pursue at the moment, but it seems likely. Tensions between the Revalius and the Cadaverines are high right now, and they will continue to escalate until one side is dead. Police are worried an all-out gang war could happen. If that's the case, Revalius would do anything he could to be prepared. Gang war? I'm not sure how I feel about that. Oh, Mendiras is not on spectacular terms with his uncle as of recently. Why would he work for his benefit? To me, it doesn't make sense. Why just kill Luciano and take the money to spite Revalius? He said that her family was delaying the prosecution. Why would Revalius help keep his nephew out of prison? Their bad blood seems to be recent. My theories are correct. Mendiras may be responsible for the current situation with the Cadaverines. I believe he and Luciano caused a mess, and now Mendiras is trying to gain favor with his uncle. By killing the victim? So, like, the victim was the one who, like, instigated the whole gang war, and now they're doing this to, get more preparation involved? I guess that makes sense, strategically speaking. No charges have been brought against the mob there, then, eh? You can't connect him to the crime, so no. He did not kill Luciano. I mean, you just had to do it to him. For all I can be certain, Mendiras was working alone. He's not the killer, but he arranged it all right. Okay, shush you, Togurmara, shut up. He's the mom with that girl, the one he kidnapped. A kidnapping? No, that's not what I meant. Oh, don't stop now, detective. What did you just say? This little girl seen in the diner had been kidnapped. Well, now, isn't that an interesting thing to discuss? The girl is not related to the murder. Curse that Togurmara, I explicitly told him to avoid the topic. Yeah, I think he's just doing just to throw this case or make it even more complicated. Oh boy. Ruled? Please continue, detective. Kusari says he saw the girl with the men before she's taken away. Based on the description of her, we believe it to be Pearl Faye, a child who recently vanished. Just a few nights ago, she disappeared. A family friend received a threatening phone call after. The family just denies involvement, but it's obvious they're lying. Yet, as I stated, neither her nor the enforcer escorting her killed Luciano. Yeah, but somehow he's gonna, like, Crystal's gonna spin it somehow, right? The poison's effect kicked in too quickly. Shush you. You can't downplay this, Williamson. Technically we can, because they're not part of the murder. If you want to add, like, criminal, kidnapping to it, then make that your own case after this trial happens. She may not kill them, but her presence opens up a whole new motive for murder. And that in itself will open up the possibility of more suspects. Nonsense. Togurmara, you fool. Is it really so hard to believe? After all, it is a much more noble motive. Killing for money? That's horrible. But killing to rescue a child? Why, that's something any good Samaritan might be willing to do. You believe this girl is Pearl Faye? Her family wishes to see her returned. Anybody who does it will be a hero. That makes no sense! What good would killing her cat do when she'd be long gone? You know the poison was administered after she left? Yeah, that's not right. You couldn't rescue her if she'd already left the building. Anybody see a kidnapped child would want to do something? After that? Like, you can, you could just make an excuse if you really wanted to, like, help a girl, just like, excuse me, I'm sorry, can we make this a conversation later or something like that? Besides, even then, like, Jesus. They might not have been able to rescue her, but still. Just think of those evil men still walking free. Okay, you're definitely going that way. Which is still kind of a viable option for Mona, but Jesus. That'd be horrible to think of. Enraging, even. Are you admitting that your client is a kidnapper? Well, it may have appeared that he was one, and that is all that matters. So you're gonna say he was a kidnapper instead of a murderer. I guess it's a better look, but I guess not, but not still. It sounds as though the prosecution didn't think enough of the kidnapping. It's clearly more important than they thought. It's an interesting thing to consider. Thank you, Your Honor. As you can see, it gives her case a whole new meaning. Everybody who knew the missing girl will be on the lookout for her. There's my new suspect for the moment. Anyone. I want the prince of the bottle, huh? Oh, good timing, man. Okay, you are just brushing under the rug. How are you gonna do that? I'll get around to that eventually, but I'm just getting warmed up. Your Honor, I'd like to continue our argument on Mr. Mandira's motive. I believe you're right. Let's discuss this some more then. Check out if you will. Yes, keep doing all this. The two motives. Back to this music. Now, instead of one possible motive, we have two. Reward for killing, and a rescue. You mean and or. Seems we have reason to suspect more people than just the defendant then. That's simple. He's still trying to break down that motive. Never mind that. Even if he succeeds, we still have plenty. Yeah, you don't really need a motive you can prove beyond a doubt he did it. Why would Mr. Gavin need to focus so much on the motive at this point in the trial? I'll still fight the argument, but if I can't, no matter. We'll just move on to the real meat of this case then. That just means he's a plan then. So the motive is going to be hinging on it? Most likely actually. So instead of one possibility, we have two. I fail to see how this changes matters. It changes it greatly. Before there was only a bounty for an assassination. Now there's rescuing an innocent child. I say it expands the demographic of willing culprits significantly. Who knows? Maybe somebody would try to fulfill both. Assuming Luciano is one of the kidnappers, wouldn't it make sense to target him? I wonder poisoning him is done for saving the girl. Yes, she's still missing. How sad. How sad. The point remains. How do you remain so cool? Speaking of this, Mr. Gavin. Well, they call him the coolest prosecutor in the West for a reason. That little thing is gonna go, and that title's gonna go down like 5 years, let's say. Reward for killing. For killing? Get an explanation for this, you're yet to counter it. Perhaps, since your case is based on the bounty, perhaps yours could explore further? What do you wish to know? Why was it out there in the first place? Who put it up? So far, nobody's admitted to it. We believe it was the Cadaverinis. Cadaverini? Was that mobster Bruto Cadaverini? Bruto was assassinated just a few weeks back, you recall. Oh, wow. Rumor has it Carl Luciano was spotted in the area the night he was slain. Oh yes, that's right. That must be why tensions are so high. Cadaverinis believe Micro Valley is behind the attack. There have been threats of a gang war. Valley has denied everything. I imagine you want to replace the Cadaverines any way you could, or not to be messed with. Could Luciano have been working alone? Given his status, we may never know. Valley is a ruthless man, but he's no fool. He wouldn't risk it. Stored to somebody in the know flat out admitting it, it may remain a mystery. Interesting. Say you're alright. How angry would Micro Valleys be at Luciano? If I were him, I'd be furious for going behind my back. It may be why we have a dead assassin in our hands now. Though truth be told, we have only found one poster so far. One poster? Then what? Wait, what? Thank you for this information. It's been very enlightening. Eh? What are you getting at? The bounty from the Cadaverini family? Just how likely would they be to pay our valets? Oh, you're gonna spin it that way. Well, no matter what we're gonna say, Togamera is just gonna say the opposite, so I'm, prepare for the worst then. He's one of their competitors! That's right. I suspected this madman of killing Bruto. Brutal. Please don't tell me the big bad old Mikey Rivales killed Luciano just to avoid a gang war. I've heard too much about this man to assume he's that much of a pushover. Well, you walked right into that one. Shush you. Not now, Mr. Jameson. Prosecutors are the only ones who can set them. Say with me, it's a not now. Okay. And a rescue. A rescue of what? Not that. Why'd I press that? No, not X. You. Elizabeth. I must admit I didn't have as much time as I would have to investigate. How'd you come by your information as a child? My grandmother told me. Oh, and she's also part of it too, so basically you have almost everything on your side, so yeah, this is gonna go great. Shall we call her and find out? I promise you my source is legitimate. Have you found the young girl yet? That's a negative. I can't even charge her captors because there's no proof. I should be sorry to anyone who may have seen her and he couldn't even ID her definitively. Well, I'm not sure how I feel about that. Your Honor, if Mr. Indira supposedly kidnapped the girl, would he really try to return her? Could be a ransom. I think not. They would have made demands, but of course the old lady has received none. If he kidnapped her, then he would not kill Luciana to return her. Good point. I'd like to hear more of your thoughts on this. As you can see, there's little reason to think my client would have done it for either reason. It seems so. Remember what I just said, though, that this should open a motive for other people. Other people, yeah, it's broader. Like, there's not even much to refute here because honestly, it's actually different than a possibility. There's not much to refute. Once we accept the possibility that he's not the only suspect, a whole variety of scenarios can be seen. Blast it! You think you'll tear my case apart so easily? Let's lay the claim we're open for more suspects when we're still only got the one. It's looking better from this Gavin guy. We had to delve into anything of actual significance. I suspect he's playing it that way. I still have cards up my sleeve, and I'm sure he does as well. If you prefer a literary term, he's merely saying like exposition. Dude, okay, just the fact that you're using just English terms now, just for all this, just no. Just no. They think right into his trap, yeah? Those cards won't play themselves. Let's get to it, old man. You always say that Obi was bad. It's just getting started for both of us, Mr. Gavin. You haven't even touched on the real me of the case. Now it begins. The real me of the case, what's the probably the motive the case falls apart. Is there reason to suspect more people than just the defendant? Just the motive. You still got solid proof and witnesses to it all. Gotta pick your battles. Oh, I thought that was the end of the testimony because that long thing. Just talking with you. Oh my. It's like you weren't really dozing out during all those lectures I gave you then. Of course. The whole apathy thing is just a facade. Oh, good. They catch your enemies off guard. You limit to a false sense of security, then strike when their guard's down. Sometimes you worry me, Mr. Jameson. Well, it's a good tactic. So, was it a reward for killing and a rescue? Then here. Both unlucky for your culprit with no motive, your case falls apart. Okay. Either way you look at it, Luciano is dead. Yes, but why would Mandira specifically kill him? We've been over this. The kidnappers wouldn't fund their rivals. The kidnapper would hardly be rewarded for rescuing the one he kidnapped. Well, that's another thing, like the second the detective brought up just there was like one poster for a bounty, Body didn't even rebut against that, so that's literally true. That's kind of a weak motive then in that case, like if literally not a lot of people saw it. Depends on where it was found and all that, but like you haven't mentioned about that, like doesn't even mention the poster, right? It just says it's a bounty, $1 million and all that. Yeah. Interesting thought, perhaps. Mr. Williamson, will you be changing your stance? No. I see. No point bringing it up then. Gotta keep your options open, right? True, but up until now, there's been no reason to believe otherwise. We'll see how things take their course. There seems to be reason to suspect more people than just the defendant. I think maybe, like, we have to present something here? It's how many more people had the opportunity to kill him. As many people as there are in the entire whole wide world. god. Literally, that means everyone was just compiled into that small restaurant just to see this whole meeting take place. This is my turn to kill him. Stab. No, we can't stab him. No, everyone, grab a pinch of poison and put it in the food, okay? He won't notice a thing that since we're all in there smushed together. I haven't touched on the opportunities and the motive. You claim my client operated based on financial gain. Yet, why should we suspect this? Again, I ask you, what about the opportunity? All in good time. I have my theories, as you have yours. Just answer the blasted question. Relax, it's just the motive, right? So I got to prove again we're all the way through. Work killing, but no motive in case falls apart. We have reason to suspect more people than just the defendant. Like, it's like, nothing changed, so like, literally all this is just really vague. What was it, like, only thing I think of top of my head is that there's only, like, was only literally just these two together? And then the diner's entrance, like, literally just, there's a bell, so like, anyone can hear who comes into the door. So literally could just be that then? Both unlucky for my culprit, but no motive, your case falls apart. Since reason suspected more people than just defendant. Well, I guess opportunity, we're not going to just bring up the bell, actually, thinking about it, since we're focusing more on the motive. If we just bring that up, then everything should be all fine and good. Body and police custody, diner map of the Salim's, Sari's, restaurant. So, motive, what would be something good to, like, go more against the kidnapping? So it's like, word for killing. So one possibility, we have two. Word for killing and a rescue. Both unlucky for my client, with no motive, your case falls apart. Seems to be a reason to suspect more people than just the defendant. I'd like to either present some other profiles then. We have to do that once. Current Dawn of Riley's family on the brink of a gang war, Rainey's, witness the crime, young girl. Kill the poison will be the suspect. Nothing. I took first right this crime scene. No, nothing's else. So, do we really have to bring up the bell and all that? See, the reason to suspect more people than just the defendant. So, like, because, like, the bell, like, obviously you would hear anyone coming through the door immediately, and since, what was it, the map shows, like, they're close by the door. Plus, even, like, you know, Salim, like can see, like, straight on ahead that someone else comes in. That's gonna be hard. Nah. So it's definitely the prove something along the motive, then. Just trying to say, is that a penalty is in order here? Yeah. Idiot, I certainly hope I never become as rude as this man. So, motive-wise, you know, instead of one possible motive, we have two. A reward for a killing, and a rescue. So, you're saying, like, both it could be just be a kidnapping thing, all that, like, side with materials lead to be pro-fey. All we're going on is the belief that it was Pearl, even though it definitely most likely is at this point. Vile poison on there. Something about okay. Really something. There's gotta be something about, I guess, like the motive here, but it's very. All your statements here are very, very vague. Very. Oh boy. Okay, that's a bit weird. So instead of actually focusing in on the motive, we're literally instead jumping right into opportunity. With both unlucky for my client, with no motive, your case falls apart. Literally, like, it seems we're focusing more on the motive than trying to disprove that, but instead even Jameson brought up about the fingerprints, and yet that was brushed aside, and we're gonna bring it right back up. Okay? Yeah, okay, that's still weird. Okay, this whole thing is now just really weird now. The prosecution will acknowledge that Mr. Mandira's motive is not quite clear. Oh, don't feel bad. The ability to make defeat is a quality of greatness. Yes, in some cases. Your condescending remarks are meaningless. You haven't won anything yet. Mr. Gavin, you seem to be forgetting something very important. Yes? Hard proof. Yeah, I thought we were focusing on the motive now. Why are we jumping straight into the opportunity? Like, Jesus, I was going around in circles for so long, and then I just looked up something and just like, Wow, we're not even focusing on the motive anymore. We're just gonna skip right over the motive for some reason, even though we're focusing on it so much. Fingerprints of the murder weapon. Can you explain your way out of that? How about this? A witness who saw the two together moments before the death? And honestly, what compelled you to argue against the motive of monetary gain? Perhaps some yours are just the same as any other villain. Greedy. Or the motive may have been, there's still much against the defendant. So, literally what your plan was here about it was, instead of him actually trying to find a way to counter-argue against the motive, you're just gonna just brush past instead no matter what, even though we were focusing on that. What? Okay. I'll admit my case could be explained a bit more. I would certainly hope so. You've done nothing so far but waste your time with possibilities. A physical proof point to the defendant. You ignored forever. Oh yes, that was brought up at the very beginning of the trial. Gone already, haven't you? This court cannot convict a man on motive alone, nor will be cleared by it. Aha! You wish to call your next witness? Of course. The man saw the crime. Let's hear from him. Prosecutor, if you're finished with me, I'll depart. I have other plans to attend to. Yeah, do your forgery and mobster ways. So going to get out of here, detective? Well, no matter, we no longer need you. It bothers me, I can't quite decide why. Hey. He's holding a weapon! Where's the rubber spatula? Please say your name and occupation for the court. I'm Salim Kusari. I'm a chef at a restaurant. At a restaurant. What is the restaurant called? Don't be so humble, buddy. You don't work there. You run the place. Aha! You were right, my friend. A restaurant? What kind? It's only a small one, Mr. Your Honor. We have a very small staff. A skeleton staff? I must cook the food myself also. Oh, you must be busy. Are you any good? I must be modest, Mr. Your Honor, but many people have told me it is very good. Best in the city. Number 7 set is great. Ah, maybe, but beware of that one. Pick a 7, 8, 9. Okay, he's great. Oh, did you have to send him up for that? Yes. Moving on, the victim was killed in Mr. Kusari's diner. Once the enforcer left with the girl, he was one of 3 men left in the building. The 2 cores being Mendiras and Luciano. Yes, we had a few customers that day. I saw the rest of my staff home early. I'm sure they were grateful after learning what happened. Oh, they were! Thank God I was the only one who had to see it. Did you, sir? I said to you the other day, it sounded awful like you didn't. You? Are you calling me a liar? Oh boy. Your first actual moment of the crime. You didn't see either the poisoning or subsequent death, only the results. Yes, then you are right. I did not. What did you see? I found him after he was dead. Well, if that's all you have to tell us, then we may as well get on with it. You! Give me some respect! I did not ask for this! Unfortunate. You seem very hot-headed. Well, the food must be really good at all that customer service skills you worked on. I must remember to tread carefully around you, Mr. Kusari. Please, Mr. Kusari, just tell us what happened. The court will hear your whole story. Yes, Mr. Prosecutor Williamson? I do like the purple apron. It really sells the whole design, honestly. I like it. I served food to the 2 men after the others went. While they ate, I stepped into the kitchen for just a moment. When I came back, the one-eyed man was dead. Wait, one-eyed? Wait, he was a one-eyed person? Did he get shot in the eye from another gang fight? Jeez. I called the police immediately, and Mr. took him right quickly. Yeah. Thank you. Now I have a few questions. First of all, the others, who do you mean? The girl and the big man, of course. The cadet child. Profe and Wayne Parker, presumably. Oh my god. Okay. Hi, Wayne. Well, it's certainly rained on your parade for this whole thing that you're back here as well. It makes sense though, why you're back. You're doing this whole time for years, blackmail, everything. That we can only speculate in the former. Just speculation. Mr. Kusari didn't have a name to go on. He only knew her briefly by appearance. I didn't think it was strange, you see? She didn't seem any different from any other child who comes into my restaurant. I did not know she was kidnapped. Those awful men! And this fellow, Mr. Parker, Kinshio just questioned him. According to him, he was not told the identity of the girl. In any case, the man is rather spineless, to put it bluntly. There's no chance he would say anything his employers didn't want him to do. Now, Mr. Kasari, you said you stepped out. Why? I was the only one working all day, so all the work was my duty. I spilled a big mess while making the food, and I went back for the cleaning. How long did you spend on that? Not long, not long. It was only a few minutes. Your two customers were alone during this time, then? Yes, you were right. How do you know? How do I know? They were the only two. I'm not a fool, Mr. Attorney Gavin. Objection. Calm yourself, Mr. Kusari. Let me handle this. Let me explain. This is Mr. Kusari is 100% sure they were alone. Okay, now we bring up Bell, even though, gosh dang it, I brought this up before, too. Take that. Yeah. The door leading into the restaurant is equipped with a small bell. It alerts the owners whenever somebody goes in or out. Of course, they're very common. Yes, very so. Does that satisfy you, Mr. Gavin? What was it, a high note bell, low note bell? Like, we need the answers here, okay? Partially. You mentioned the mess was large. They were cleaning it up. What is the mess of the doing thing? Like, well, I guess you're fishing for information to have how much large the mess would be, so like you can say like how long he's away from it, and like maybe like someone else came in. Looks like was there a back entrance like to the alley or something? Depending on what that is. There's literally, you can only enter through the front door then, from this diagram, so literally, you can only go through the front entrance, so no, it's impossible.
Objection!
Objection! Hey, what exactly does that have to do with the murder? Leave the prosecutor to your boss, young man. I'm sure he knows what the matter is. You aren't the only one who can investigate a crime scene. That mess was never cleaned up. Mr. Gavin, is there something you're trying to insinuate here? Oh, there's... Huh. Mr. Kusara went to the kitchen to clear a mess, but it never happened. Witness, care to elaborate? I saw the body, of course. I knew a man died. That was more important. Was like, you would not clean just a mess then either. Like, you went to clean up a mess, but decided not to after seeing a body, like where cleaning supplies are around it. Like, you were getting stuff together. Like, I'm assuming, like, in the kitchen. Like, what was that? If it was, like, in the hallway, and you had to clean supplies out there, then yes, maybe. But then, if it was in the kitchen, it was the same thing there. Assuming one of these two rooms on the left, like, the top and bottom one on the left, where, like, cleaning supplies were actually in the kitchen, the right would be it. No, that's a freezer. No, it has to be definitely it. So cleaning supplies to the left to your rooms, bring it back. Yeah, it would make sense. Yeah, that would make complete sense, actually. I'm just trying to bring out the big guns, finally. I believe you're lying, Mr. Kusari. What? Why? Okay. Lying? Why on earth? Your story does not add up. You were in the kitchen. Ergo, you should not have seen anything. Mr. Gavin, this is hardly professional. Accusing a man of perjury with no proof, the witness does not deserve that. I think I should elaborate more. Well, here you are. Oh boy, okay, we're going into year one. Well, this would be a good time to leave this off here. Okay, so definitely, like, of course, since we're on the opposite side, we're going from a perspective of, literally how Phoenix would usually do, but a bit more, I guess a bit more corrupt, since, like, we already know how this is gonna turn out, assuming, because, like, literally a lot of factors that we know, at least know, in terms of, like, dramatic irony and all of that. Final body, I'll play by your literary term games and say that, since Tokamura definitely is involved inside the family, all that. Francisco Mendiers is the culprit here, yet he's completely, you know, still roaming around. I doubt he would be out of jail after, like, you know, just 60 years just for murder. So, yeah, no, something bad's gonna happen here. He's gonna get off somehow. He's gonna be cleared of the innocence and all that from Kristoff, but just the way how they're gonna do it, slowly becoming unraveled. So we'll see how further this goes. I was in your argument, it's like exactly why the whole mop thing is going through. I still think that the whole mop thing and just grabbing a mop, a bucket, and, like, you know, just him looking to the hallway to see the dead person's body slumped over, or just going to the kitchen and all that, is still viable, unless there was nothing around to indicate that. So once that's it, then maybe onto something. But we'll see what you're going to talk about of Kristoff Gavin's testimony of next times. So, had a fun time watching as I am playing this. Hope you see me next time. What time may be. And I'll hope you a fantastic day.